program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Afternoon, everybody.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Jump up in the air and stuff that son of a bitch in there, Chief.
The issue here is not whether we broke a few rules or took a few liberties with our female party guests. We did.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Welcome to the Songs You Should Know show. I am your host, Mark Corrallo. You are listening to the very first moments of the very first show of a total of 24 programs that will be broadcast and released to you over the course of the next 2 years. We broadcast each program live from a sometimes fictional bar or club. In this case, you are hearing us from the Rendezvous Inn in College Park, Maryland. We've got a little booth set up here between the restrooms and the jukebox, so please, if you're in the neighborhood of Route 1 near the University of Maryland, swing by and say hello. So what does the title Songs You Should Know show mean? Well, the audience for this program is wide and varied. Some of you have been discovering and listening to cool music for a long time. Others may not have been exposed to much music other than what is currently on Top 40 radio. So some of you will already know some of these songs that you should know. Others will be hearing them for the first time. But even those sophisticated listeners, I think, will be hearing things that they've never heard before. And for all of the listeners, some of the songs you will really enjoy, and some of them you won't care for at all. All I ask is that you give everything a fair chance. Each song was selected very carefully for inclusion in this program, and my goal is to broaden the musical horizons of every single listener. Included in the program are classic songs that are an important part of rock and roll history, which you obviously should know, ranging all the way down to weird and odd songs that I particularly like and hope you like too. Hence, I think you should know them as well. And I won't repeat this again, but a big motivating factor behind putting these 24 shows together is to provide my little boy JD, who's currently only 11 years old, with an understanding and appreciation of the history of rock and roll music. I do not hold any high hopes that he'll latch on to this program immediately, but perhaps when he's in his 20s, he'll understand. Now, let's get on with some music. A fair amount of thought went into what should be the very first selection in this program. Having gone to college in the late 70s during the rise of the disco era, my friends and I lashed out and sought our own form of musical entertainment, which fortunately came in the form of the punk rock and new wave movement. It almost became a contest between us who could discover the next cool band and bring the record to the dormitory to show it off. It was a healthy competition and resulted in a musical education second to none. The first song we're going to hear is from one of the premier bands of that era, the Stranglers, out of England. The song is called Get a Grip on Yourself. It is the very first single they ever released. Had modest chart success in the UK, reaching number 44. Rock journalist Al Hillier takes us back to November of 1976. The first verse, the first song, played on the first occasion that I ever clapped eyes on the Stranglers. The astounding keyboard introduction to Grip buzzed and snapped like an electrified chainsaw and exploded from Dave Greenfield's Leslie cabinet and opened proceedings. Those first few seconds The fractional lull, as Dave played alone, threw me completely because within moments the band had crashed in ensemble. It hit me like an effing steam train from 3 feet away. Positioned a few feet away from Jean-Jacques Burnel's bass rig, I thought my ribs were going to shatter, my head explode. I didn't even know if I was going to get out of that gaff alive, but at that moment, I couldn't give an F. This was it.
I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca Road when along came a semi with a high and canvas-covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac with me, you can ride. And so I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopilla, Barranquilla, and Padilla. I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kingston, Texarkana, Monterey, Faraday, Santa Fe, Tallapoosa, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Oskaloosa, Tennessee, Chicopee, Spirit Lake, Grand Lake, Devil's Lake, Crater Lake, Beach Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Omaha, Shefferville, Jacksonville, Waterville, Costa Rica, Pittsfield, Springfield, Bakersfield, Shreveport, Hackensack, Cadillac, Fond du Lac, Davenport, Idaho, Jellicoe, Argentina, Diamantina, Pasadena, Catalina, see what I mean? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Pittsburgh, Parkersburg, Gravelburg, Colorado, Ellensburg, Rexburg, Vicksburg, El Dorado, Larimore, Atmore, Haverstraw, Chattanooga, Chaska, Nebraska, Alaska, Opelika, Baraboo, Waterloo, Kalamazoo, Kansas City, Sioux City, Cedar City, Dodge City. What a pity. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere.
the hill. She rustled and tussled like Buffalo Bill. One day she decided she'd go for a ride, with a pistol and a sword by her side. She rolled right up to my front door, knocked and knocked till her fist got sore. When she turned and walked away, all I could hear my baby say, saw my baby running across the field, slipping and sliding like an automobile. Hollered at my baby and I told her away, slipped off from me like a Cadillac gate.
After Get a Grip by the Stranglers, we heard Johnny Cash doing I've Been Everywhere. That was a 1996 release by the Man in Black, but it was a cover version of a song that has been covered all over the world many, many times. In fact, the original songwriter was Australian, so the first version was all Australian towns. It was later adapted for North American use, but there are versions from all over the world, including this one from the Far East.
I go everywhere, man. Yeah, I go everywhere, man. I cross Great Wall of China, man. I breathe Mount Fuji, I'm an airman. Yeah, I travel out at my share, man. Yeah, I go everywhere. Been to Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnam, Beijing, Ho Chi Minh City, Osaka, Cambodia, Yokohama, East Timor, Tibet, Jakarta, Shanghai, Mongolia, Fukushima, Hunan, Wuhan, Korea, Tokyo, know what I mean, yo. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you sing with me.
Interesting, but I think we'll agree that the Man in Black's version is a little more compelling. Next we heard from the Moondogs doing Who's Gonna Tell Mary? The Moondogs were a trio of Northern Ireland musicians formed in 1979 and didn't get nearly the airplay or the notoriety that I think they deserved. Really good stuff, the Moondogs. REM gave us Pretty Persuasion off their 1984 album Reckoning. The band was playing that song live as early as 1980, but 4 years later, when Reckoning was being recorded, lead singer Michael Stipe had kind of lost interest and didn't want to record it. But they eventually decided to put it on the record due to its popularity when performed live, and I am glad they did. We followed that up with Bo Diddley doing Hey Bo Diddley, and you should do a YouTube search for that song, and you'll find two different videos that are worth watching. One is from an early 60s performance where Bo is just a rockin' cat, especially the middle eight. You gotta stick with the song until you get to that. And another recording of him doing it on the Ed Sullivan Show in the 50s to a much less receptive audience. And it's interesting to see the contrast in his style depending upon who he is playing to. I'm a big Bo Diddley fan, and you are going to hear a fair amount of Bo throughout the course of these shows. Next up, we have the Stripes, spelled S-T-R-Y-P-E-S, which is a young four-piece rock band from Cavan, Ireland, formed in 2010. This next song is an original composition written when band members were between the ages of 15 and 17. But it didn't stop them from laying down something like this.
loves me. Blue collar Jane, always in your town. Never wears her hair up because she's always dressing down. You got a four-wheel drive, you know that's how she gets around. Blue collar Jane, my girl, you knock me to the ground. Now we could be B-L-U-E, C-O-L-L-A or J-A-N-E. Oh baby, please, if you could see, then you'd agree that I love blue collar Jane and she loves me. Watch out! Blue collar Jane, always in your town. Never wears her hair up cause she's always dressing down. You got a four-wheel drive, you know that's how she gets around. Blue collar Jane, my girl, you knock me to the ground. Now we could be B-L-U-E, C-O-L-L-A or J-A-N-E. Oh baby, please, if you could see, then you'd agree that I love blue collar Jane and she loves me. That I love blue collar Jane and she loves me.
Want something?
Yeah. Let me have a Three Musketeers and a ballpoint pen, one of those combs there, a pint of Old Harper, a couple of flashlight batteries, and some beef jerky.
Everybody out there knows the Pamela Dare. Looks like she's ready, but you better beware. If she asks, you better lie. Her parents said no older guys. Girls at school, they think she's cool. Guys at work, they ridicule, but they live by another rule. It's not fair, I
when she was married herself nearly 27 years before. She had to change the style a little, but it looked just fine. They stayed up all night, but they got it finished just in time. Now on the arm of her daddy, she's walking down the aisle. Then she catches my eye and she gives me a secret smile. Maybe it's too old-fashioned, but we once were a close friend. Oh, but the way that she looks today, she never could have been. Well, I can see her now in the tight blue jeans, pumping all her money in a record machine, spinning like a top. You should have seen her go. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Now a proud daddy only wanna give his little girl a bath, and so he put down a grand on a cozy little lover's nest. You could have called the reception and a qualified success. They had a flash hotel for 150 guests. Take a look at the bridegroom smiling, pleased as pie, shaking hands all around with a glassy look in his eye. He got a real good job and the shirt and tie's nice, but I remember a time when she would never even look at him twice. But I can see her now drinking with the boys, breaking their hearts like they were toys. She used to do the pony, she used to do the stroll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Headphones on, jumping up and down to a favorite song. I still remember when she used to want to make a lot of noise, hopping and bobbing with the street corner boys. She used to love to party, she used to love to go. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Hey!
started the set off with the Stripes doing Blue Collar Jane, and that was followed by my band, the Spidells, doing Pamela Dare off their first LP cassette called Candy Apple Red. Pamela Dare is from the perspective of some young professional in his mid-20s who has fallen for a girl way too young for him, inspired by true events. Next came the Barbarians doing Are You a Boy or Are You a Girl? And the Barbarians, I think that was their only chart hit, and yet they are in very exclusive company as part of the Teenage Music International show, the famous Tammy Show. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a famous rock and roll show that was conducted in October of 1964 at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. The performers at that show are basically a who's who of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Beach Boys, Chuck Berry, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Jan and Dean, Leslie Gore, Smokey Robinson, the Supremes, the Rolling Stones, and the Barbarians. Go figure. There is a DVD, and probably the most famous aspect of this show is James Brown's performance, which is absolutely incredible. Pity the poor Rolling Stones who had to follow him. Next came Dave Edmunds' version of the Nick Lowe composition, I Knew the Bride, paren, when she used to rock and roll, close paren. Just a brilliant piece of songwriting, in my opinion. And we finished that set up with the Moody Blues doing In Your Wildest Dreams, a song which reveals that there's still a little place in your heart for a lost love. Which begs the question, is there anything wrong with thinking about that lost love on occasion? Out of the thousands of people you cross paths with in your life, how many actually make it inside your heart? And aren't they worth thinking about now and then? I think so. And before we continue any further, I wanted to let you know that you can reach out to us and contact us via email. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, criticisms, praise, whatever, you can reach us at songsyoushouldknowshow@gmail.com. That's songsyoushouldknowshow, no punctuation at all, @gmail.com. Our next musical selection is by the band Fountains of Wayne, which was named after a lawn ornament store in Wayne, New Jersey, which is no longer in business. They came up with this very pretty song about a very unpretty topic.
The clock's running down, the team's losing ground to the opposing defense. The young quarterback waits for the snap when suddenly it all starts to make sense. He's got all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time. All kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time. All kinds of time. He takes a step back. He's under attack, but he knows that no one can touch him now. He seems so at ease. The strange inner peace is all that he's feeling somehow. He's got all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time. All kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time. All kinds of time. He thinks of his mother. He thinks of his bride to be. He thinks of his father, his two younger brothers gathered around the widescreen
twice. I'm in love with rock and roll, and I'll be out all night rolling. That's right. Okay, now you say bottle lovers. I got the AO. Got the car, got the AO. Got the AM sound. Got the rock and bottle neon sound. I got the car from Massachusetts. I got the power of Massachusetts when it's late at night. I got the modern sounds of modern Massachusetts. I got the world. I got the church. I got the power of the AM. Got the lady light, lit up white, rock and roll, lady light, leave it off. The factories and the honor signs. I got the power of the Boston sound. All right. Right. Bye-bye.
Life is dull, it's nothing but one big lull. Then presto, you do a skull and find that you're reeling. She sighs and you're feeling like the toy on a string. And your heart goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. How could that funny face that seemed to be commonplace project you right into space without any warning? Don't know if it's morning, nighttime, winter, or spring. What's the difference? Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. She takes your hand, this captivating creature, and like it's planned, you're in the phone book looking for the nearest preacher. Life is swell, you're off to that small hotel, and somewhere a village bell will sound in the steeple, announcing to people, love's the loveliest thing. And the bell goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. She grabs your hand, this captivating creature, and like it's planned, you're in the phone book hunting for the nearest preacher. Life is swell, you're off to that small hotel, and somewhere a village bell will sound in a steeple, announcing to people, love's the loveliest thing. And the bell goes ring-a-ding-ding, 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 A ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding.
That was Faces, led by Rod Stewart, doing Stay With Me, off their 1971 album called A Nod Is As Good As a Wink to a Blind Horse. That song reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 6 on the UK singles chart, written by both Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood. Stay with me. Before that, as proof that we're going to give you all kinds of music on this program, we heard from Frank Sinatra doing Ring-a-Ding-Ding, which is the title track off his 1961 album, which was actually the inaugural release on Sinatra's own record label, Reprise. And with Frank in control of the label, he decided that that first album would be all swinging numbers and no ballads. Before that, the Modern Lovers gave us Roadrunner, fronted by Jonathan Richman, who wrote this song in 1970 when he was only 19 years old. Rolling Stone magazine considers this to be the 269th greatest song of all time, covered by a lot of important bands, including the Sex Pistols, Wire, Joan Jett, Fish, Greg Kihn, and apparently the Modern Lovers was a rotating band of musicians who were referred to by Jonathan Richman as the Modern Lovers, no matter who was on the stage or in the recording studio behind him. Before that, we heard from the Len Price 3, who gave us the 1 minute and 22 second selection, Chinese Burn. That's all the time they needed to get that message across. Interesting thing about the Len Price 3, no one in the band is named Len Price. This is the title track off their 2005 Wicked Cool Records release. And Len Price 3 are considered what is part of the Medway scene, which is a term for a number of musical acts that came out of a certain region in England. And again, we started that off with Fountains of Wayne doing All Kinds of Time, a song about a quarterback dropping back into the pocket and having all the time he needs to get his job done. I think the brilliant part of that song is the bridge, when we learn that he's thinking about his bride-to-be and that his family is watching him on the widescreen TV. Those words crystallize our vision as to what's going on in the song. That came off their 2003 release called Welcome Interstate Managers, Fountains of Wayne. So I would like to remind you that we are broadcasting today from the Rendezvous Inn in College Park, Maryland, which is right on Route 1 near the University of Maryland. Please swing by, say hello, buy me a beer. In fact, that reminds me, hold on just a second. Oh, that's exactly what I needed. The next two songs are by the same artist, and I put them back to back to demonstrate their musical growth over a 10-year period. The first song was released in October 1976 and is considered by some to be the very first single by a British punk rock group. Here are The Damned with New Rose.
Is she really going out with him?
Inside of me, it's kind of strange, like a stormy sea. I don't know why, I guess these things have gotta be. I've got a new rose, I've got a good. Yes, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. See the sun, it shines. Don't get too close or it'll burn your eyes. Don't you run away that way. You can come back another day. I've got a new rose, I've got a good. Yes, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. I never thought this could happen to me. I feel so strange. Oh, why should it be? I don't deserve somebody this great. I better go, or it'll be too late. Strange like a stormy sea. I don't know why, I don't know why. I guess these things have gotta be. I got a new rose, I got a good dance, I knew that I always would. I can't stop to mess around. I got a brand new rose in town. Whoa.
living the dream. I love that. You know what? I will have some meatloaf. Let's have some meatloaf.
You want some?
Yes.
I knew you'd go. Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
Baby, I don't mean maybe, double talk, baby. Please make up your mind. Whoa, first said you would, if you only could. Yeah, that you probably will, if I kept still. Yeah, you drive me crazy, so baby, don't mean maybe, double talk, baby. Please make up your mind. Baby, don't mean maybe, double talking, baby. Please make up your mind. Oh, first said you would, if you only could. That you probably will, if I kept still. Yeah. Drive me crazy, listen to baby. Don't mean maybe, double talking, baby. Please make up your mind. maybe. Please make up your mind. Whoa, first said you would, if you only could. That you probably will, if I kept still. Yeah, man, drive me crazy, listen me, baby. Don't mean maybe, double talking, baby. Please make up your mind.
We just heard from Ginger Wildheart and Ryan Hamilton, who gave us F You Brain. An odd title, but not so odd when you know the background. The song is a nod to Ginger's well-documented and ongoing battle with depression, hence the name F You Brain. Came out in December of 2016, and it's actually a charity single with all proceeds of the sale going to Samaritans.org. Before that, the Stray Cats covering one of their strong influences, Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. They came out with it in 1956. The Stray Cats version came out in 1981. Double Talkin' Baby, written by Danny Wolf, who was a famous and talented rockabilly songwriter. Before that, the Aqua Velvets gave us Holly Tiki. That's a surf band formed in San Francisco in the 1980s, led by guitarist Miles Corbin. And that particular song came off their 1996 release called Nomad. I've got a pretty strong surf instrumental background, and so I'm going to try to educate you and share at least one of those kinds of songs in each program. This one, the Aqua Velvets with Holly Tiki. Before that, we heard from Rank and File doing Amanda Ruth. They came out of Austin, Texas in 1981 and helped create a subgenre of music referred to as cowpunk. It came off their 1982 release called Sundown. It followed the second song back-to-back by The Damned, Alone Again Or. This is a song originally done by a band called Love in 1967, but I like the Damned version better. And it is interesting to hear Alone Again Or immediately after New Rose and see just how far the Damned came over that 10-year period. Now let's cross the Pacific Ocean and hear something from Japan.
but your math is undone. Accidents will happen, you're all a hit and run. Used to be a victim, now you're not the only one. Accidents will happen, you're all a hit and run. I don't wanna hear it 'cause I know what I've done.
She shadows me in the mirror. She never leaves on the light. And some things that I say to her, they just don't seem to bite. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. She tricks me into thinking I can't believe my eyes. I wait for her forever, but she never does arrive. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. She's always out making scenes. She's always out the window when it comes to making dreams. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. She says to leave it to me. Leave it to me. Everything will be alright. Be alright. She says to leave it to me. Leave it to me. Everything will be alright. Be alright. She said to leave it to me.
watching you. There's good and bad in everyone. What I see makes no difference to me.
We started that set off with Shonen Knife doing Twist Barbie. They are an all-girl Japanese pop trio formed in 1981 and found a number of important fans, including Kurt Cobain. They also performed as a Ramones tribute band called the Osaka Ramones. I wish I had seen that. We heard Twist Barbie, and I'm not so sure the girls from Japan knew what bang, 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 twist Barbie is slang for here in America. That was followed by Elvis Costello doing Accidents Will Happen, which came off his third LP called Armed Forces, released in May of 1979, which was a very important month in my life. It's the month I graduated from college and closed the dormitory room door for the last time, a moment whose significance was not lost on me at the time. The Cars gave us All Mixed Up, and I included that selection for a friend of mine, Mike Croatman, who considers that his favorite Cars song. That one came off their 1978 self-titled debut album. Next we heard from the Darling Buds, who gave us It Makes No Difference. The Darling Buds were formed in 1986 out of Newport, South Wales, and that song came off their critically acclaimed 1989 debut, Pop Said, which actually reached the top 30 on the UK album chart and is a good CD or album to add to your collection. Pop Said by the Darling Buds is the CD. It Makes No Difference is the song. Which brings us to our final musical selection of this particular program. And to give you a heads up, the final song on each of the programs will tend to be something that's perhaps a little longer than your average pop tune. It may have an anthemic or jam type quality. Sometimes you will hear from me after the song ends, and sometimes we will go right into the music which forms the outro of this program. In this case, it shall be the latter. So, I will thank you for tuning in. I will ask you to look for the next program to be released in about 1 month's time. And I will close with the saying that every good DJ needs to come up with, what Casey Kasem had. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. And Tony Kornheiser had, if you're going out on your bike tonight, please do wear white. Here's mine. You're never too old to discover new music.
just